Hello everybody and welcome back to Hyper Metroid and Progress. And these spikes are somehow deactivated. The save station is not. Hooray. So anyway, the super missile door that you can reach before Gravity Suit leads to this wonderful room where should you get here, you are stuck here. Because you can't unmorph. And it's underwater, and without Gravity Suit, you're not getting up this. So hooray for sequence breaking? Quotation mark? Quotation mark? Question mark? Good lord. Yeah, that quotation mark really has an inflection on it. So, as you can see, this room is one of the best in the entire wreck ship. Just because a lot of it is made out of the mossy wreck ship tiles. Instead of the regular old. See, this is how the wreck ship should have been done more. Majority is mossy tiles, and then a little bit of highlights are just the regular tiles that haven't been grown over yet. This would have been a much better looking wreck ship, even though this is already the best looking wreck ship, just because, I mean, that is just, why are there spikes in the corners? I don't know, but yeah. Oh, also you could have Spring Ball by now too. Should mention that. So, well, of course, one of the ways to get Gravity Suits was Spring Ball. So, yeah. Going back here, obviously we get a Super Missile. We can't get the last gate right now, because I believe it is up there, and that's all blocked off by Speed Booster blocks. And we aren't getting a Speed Booster quite yet, and that was the exit. But this elevator, you see, look at this room. Made out of the mossy tiles, there's highlights of the normal tiles. So much better looking. But we get back down to, again, good looking Maridia. There's just a save hanging off over here. I do have to question why he used so many scroll things. Because the screen is locked right there until you touch the scroll PLMs and it moves over, then it's locked on this screen. So it won't scroll over to the save station unless you go touch the scroll PLM. And that's not just this room, there's a few rooms like that. Or more than a few even. I don't know why. So yeah. Power bomb blocks, guarding power bombs. I should mention we actually do get power bombs in this. Finally. Actual progress. Like I said, if I just went to Norfair or something like that, that would have been a big boo-boo in terms of getting power bombs. Because, like I said, person got power bombs from somewhere. I have no idea where. Maybe I might have found them. I don't know. This hack was not designed to be that difficult, so... So this room seems a lot like a certain plasma room. It's not plasma though, it's an energy tank. And then I am a complete doof. Okay, you could see the morph tunnel underneath the energy tank there, so I'm like, oh! See, I thought you'd fall through the sand! I'm like, wait a second. The correct answer is no, you dingbat. That's not what you're supposed to do. I also do like that bomb jumping works under sand. But yeah, it's like, oh, right. The empty spaces are things we can go through. I knew that. So, yeah. Energy tank. Hooray. So, we have 9 of them. No reserves yet, but I am perfectly fine with that. Reserves are stupid. And anybody who has them in their hack should feel bad. And realize their hack is bad as well. Of course, I have reserve tanks in Fear, but they're completely different. The PLMs are entirely repurposed for something else. But technically they are there. And technically, you're not beating the game without them, so... Yay me. So, this part of Maridia that opens up to us. And again, there's no door indications down there, so I'm like, eh. Oh, this room's kind of interesting. This is just sort of like one of your challenge rooms. And this is a lot like, I would say, a lot of half hacks. Maybe some other hacks in general, maybe not even half hacks, are like. Where they have rooms like this, sort of challenge rooms, are difficult to traverse. You're pretty much guaranteed to take damage. Of course, all we get for it is missile with stuff. But there's a lot of hacks with rooms like that that you have to constantly go back and forth between. I don't have issues with these kind of rooms. I have issues when the player is forced to go back and forth through that room often because there's no flow to the room. They're difficult to navigate. You can't really get around through it. It's just a pain, and it's not a room. Like for this, you get a missile. Like, yay, a missile, which of course in this hack with the wonderful ammo system is a nice reward. But when it's a room you just have to traverse to get places, that's just no. It makes the hack unfun. Also, we have nice ohms. Those are his redrawn spike platforms. I forget what those things are called. Basically, the things in the spike hall in the wreck ship, where the last dangerous place in 100% Super Metroid is. Or at least with the route I use. I don't know if the route's changed since then. Don't know. I know the any percent route's completely different now. And we're blocked off from that from power bomb blocks. Those spike things are pretty evil. And we got all kinds of exploration off the map. It kind of looks, when you look on the map when you first get over here, it's like, oh, we're going to Draygon. That is not the case. Draygon, remember, it was in either the last video or the video before that, where we had the power bomb door plus the speed booster blocks in one room. That, at least I think, is the path to Draygon. I'm pretty sure that's it. And we obviously don't have either power bombs or speed booster. And actually, Draygon is the final major boss. I believe I think I said this already. But the order is Phantoon, Kraid, Ridley, Draygon. So, Draygon gets you, I believe, a gate. He doesn't actually give you an item, just another gate. And I think that's actually kind of an interesting way, whether planned or not, where it's like, you know, if the player playing the hack, they get to that point, you know, what comes after that is, you know, this search for the gates, also power bomb blocks, and then a crumble. That's what kind of keep me up, like, oh, I know what's back here. Power bomb. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, after Draygon with the gate, you know, you're supposed to go to terrain, but you can't get in there until all these gates are done. So I like the sort of subtle hint there, whether planned or not, that, hey, go find the rest of these gates. That's where you have to go now. So here we have Botwoon, and he's got some copy enemies, these multi-violas, which share his graphics, and as you can see, it's quite an effect. Also, because the rate you can fire supers, you can really take some health off of bosses quick. And then I decided, you know what? I might need some ammo later. So I'm just going to use my weak beam. Which again, you could have Spazer by now. So yeah, Spazer. would make a big difference for this. It's not like it's that big a deal, though. If you're running lower on health, definitely use your ammo. Don't try doing it with your beam, because again, your ammo is much more efficient than your beam. So, like that, Botwoon's dead, and he's actually the guy who guards power bombs. Although it's not exactly in this room. Basically, we go up into a room we've been before. And it's this room. The initial wreck ship entrance into Maridia we could get to. So, but since, you know, I've explored what I could in this room before, I know there's a locked door on the other side. It's like, this door is now open. The other side must now be open. So as long as the player comes down here and checks that, you know, this part will make sense. It's like, oh, okay, that opens up these doors. And then here we are going to get our power bombs. And yes, there's sponge cake there still. And there are our power bombs. It's like, oh, okay, now I have power bombs. It's like, wait, there was a power bomb thing behind a power bomb block I saw earlier. Plus there was power bomb things in the wreck ship. All of which is very true. But yeah, power bombs are just hanging out right there. Again, I have no idea where Person got its first power bombs. And you may notice something about the power bombs. The tanks give you 15 ammo. To use the power bomb is 20 ammo. It's that or the other way around. I forget. I'm pretty sure tanks give you 15. He did that, obviously, you know, to make power bombs cost a little more. But to also make the total ammo count go up to 500. But still, power bombs are worth more than the super missiles in terms of your ammo count. So finding them nets you like another super and a half you can fire at a boss or whatever. So it's pretty cool stuff. So I do make the detour back to the wreck ship because obviously, you know, I kind of want to see what's behind these power bomb doors. There's still the speed booster blocks, but again, I don't know where that is right now. So it's like, we'll see about that. You know, it kind of feels like I'm making progress in Maridia. Now with Maridia, we are technically done. There's, I believe, I get one more major upgrade there. Because I believe power bombs open up plasma beam, which is hanging out in Maridia. Which, if you're like me and you feel like, you know, hey, I'm making progress in Maridia, I'm getting this stuff, I should probably go and check out the rest of Maridia and see where Draygon is. Just finish off this area before I go to Norfair, because Ridley is the last boss. Well, no. Again, a little bit of subversion with this. That you are done with Maridia, basically. I mean, you might want to collect plasma for Ridley, obviously, but also this room. Yes, that tile's suspicious for a reason. Come back to that. This room is the worst. Because of what's behind these bomb blocks over here. It is disgusting and awful. Welcome to Golden Dawn, people. To every half hack ever made that drove you mad with these stupid invisible morph tunnels, and I am shocked that he allowed the player to unmorph from this. Because from what I've experienced previously, that's not something... I think this was more of an overlook on his part than the actual desire to want to help players through this. So yeah. I mean, it's just... why do people do this? I don't know. It's not fun or enjoyable. It's a stupid thing that makes you have to morph everywhere. And if you didn't get X-ray, which is a strong possibility, I mean... rooms like this can just destroy any goodwill a hack has built up previously. They are just awful and should never be done. There's another room I get to later that's sort of like that, but different, where you are morph locked, and that room... see, that room, there are no slopes either, or whatever, you're not going to get stuck anywhere. But there's morph lock. It's just terrible. Why would you ever do that? It makes no sense. So anyway, I can't go break these speed booster blocks, but you know, this is still elevator back to Maridia. It dropped me off near, first off, a safe station, because this SMB is getting a little bit longer right now. But also, I head back here because there was the power bomb behind the power bomb block tubes that I wanted to go grab, so I was like, oh hey. And I also sort of forgot where in the world I was going. And this hack really feels smaller than what DSO says it is. I am not entirely sure he mathed correctly, but I'm sure he did, but it really doesn't feel like it. It feels way smaller than the second largest hack. Like Redesign and Z-Factor, Super Zero Mission, those feel big. Even Phase on hack to an extent. This one does not feel big. And that may just be project base playing a part into it. With a different movement and stuff, but I don't know. But anyway, like I said, this video was getting a little longer, so I cut it off here. So, thanks for watching. Made some good progress, found some things and power bombs, and we will see you in the next video where we do some more stuff that might be considered progress.